How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah. Hey. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing, my loves? How are you doing? Such a pleasure to be here with you this afternoon for me. I wonder what time it is for you. How are you doing? Okay, we're here to talk about forgiveness today. But hey, before I get on with that, I am Rosemary Nonini, just in case you did not know. I'm the prosperity minister and business coach for ambitious spiritual people. I support you to thrive, to prosper, to make at least six figures whilst living in your purpose. We do this by letting go, releasing the pain, the limiting beliefs of the past, and rising victorious in your true design life. Your true design life is a life of freedom, fulfillment, financial abundance, a love drenched life, if you will claim it. Claiming it involves three key things: the magic, connection with the divine, the mindset, clearing the blocks getting in the way, and the strategy, taking strategic, intuitive action to achieve what you desire. We're talking today really about the forgiveness side of things, which is in the mindset kind of area. Okay. The mindset kind of area, because forgiveness, for me, I know it's been very powerful in achieving goals. I remember, particularly in my original successful business, property developer, well, property person, ultimately real estate type stuff. And I remember being stuck for months at a certain income level. And then, because I'd done all the strategy stuff and all of that, I finally decided to have a whole day with a coach on forgiveness, forgiving the people in my life, forgiving the people in my past, all of that, forgiving myself. And after a day of this, so about 8 hours of just going over people and forgiving and all this stuff, within 90 days of that day, my income doubled from the business. I'd been trying for months to increase that income and it hadn't shifted. But by doing a forgiveness thing, releasing this out of my psyche, releasing unforgiveness, resentment, anger out of my psyche, my income doubled. The thing you don't always realize when you hold on, and most of us, we don't hold on because we want to, it's because it's painful. People do things that are painful. But then also, so yeah, the thing about holding on to this stuff, whether it's unforgiveness of yourself because of mistakes made, or whether it's unforgiveness of other people because of whatever it is that they did, the thing about holding on to this stuff is that it blocks you up. It blocks you up. In order for us to manifest six figures whilst living in your purpose, we need the free flow of love energy through us. But unforgiveness blocks that free flow. So it's like the magic is you connected to the divine. The strategy is you taking action. The mindset is you clearing the channel for the love energy that needs to flow through you to take the seeds that you're planting inside of you, as in the seeds of the goals you want, so that you're focusing in on certain goals you want to see happen. Love energy needs to flow through you and flow into you through your subconscious mind, particularly to impregnate those seeds that you're planting. Because the thing is, you are not someone that doesn't do the work. You do the work. You're willing to do the work, aren't you? The thing is, if you are blocked up because of this unforgiveness thing, whether it's unforgiveness of yourself or unforgiveness of people, the love can't get through. And everything you're trying to materialize is love energy materialized. So if love can't flow freely through you, you're going to struggle. You're going to work very hard and still not quite get anywhere. You're going to struggle. Forgiveness, it is not for anybody else, it is for you. I know we know this because surely at this point everybody's heard that before. Unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to be wounded. We've all heard these sayings, but it's true. That's the thing. It is true. We're forgiving not for anybody else's benefit, for our own. So I understand that sometimes the things that people have done to you are pretty freaking painful, and you want to hold on because in some ways it feels like by forgiving, you are giving them permission to hurt you. You're saying that what they did was okay, but it's not what you're saying. What you're saying is, I will no longer allow them to have influence over me. I will no longer allow them to have influence over me. I set myself free to prosper. That is what you're saying by forgiving. It's not about condoning what anybody did to you. It's about choosing success, choosing wealth. Okay. And that's in terms of forgiving other people. But what of yourself? When you've made past mistakes, when you have done things that you look at yourself and think, how could I have done that? Particularly you entrepreneurial people who, if your business isn't working in the way that you expect it to, and you're looking at your children, you're looking at your partner, and you're feeling like you have failed, and you don't even recognize that you're carrying this guilt and shame around with you. The thing about carrying guilt and shame is that you will seek to punish yourself for the mistakes that you have made. And guilt tells your subconscious mind that you're a bad person. And you have been programmed to believe that bad people are not allowed to succeed. And so, therefore, you will never allow yourself to succeed whilst you carry guilt and shame within yourself. So, again, forgiveness is essential for the free flow of love within you. It's absolutely essential. I don't care what mistakes you think you've made. If you are ever to thrive, to prosper, to make six figures in your life's purpose, honey, you cannot afford to carry unforgiveness of yourself or unforgiveness of others inside of you. You just can't afford it. So it's time to start letting go. It's time to, because you don't see how you're punishing yourself actually, because you start self-sabotaging, especially when you're carrying guilt, shame, or blame. You start sabotaging yourself. So it's like for some of y'all, one of the reasons why you haven't launched your business and started to live in your purpose is because you do not believe that you deserve success, because you've made mistakes and now you're still trying to punish yourself for them. And so you're procrastinating, you're overthinking, and you think it's just, oh, I'm just being lazy. No, you deep down inside, there's a part of you that really does not feel that you are worthy of it, because you haven't forgiven yourself for the fact that you made mistakes. You haven't forgiven yourself of, or you're carrying this. Yeah, you just haven't forgiven yourself. And so you're not allowing yourself to actually thrive or prosper. You say you want to. You say you want to. But then your actions tell me, especially when I'm speaking to people, I can start to see that you're taking action that is literally keeping you from what you claim to desire. It's like you say, for some of y'all, you have started building some kind of a business, but then you start saying no to new clients because, or you start saying no to somebody invites you to come and do a speaking engagement, and then you say no to it. Why? You say it's because you're feeling doubtful, but actually it's because you're feeling unworthy, because you haven't forgiven yourself for whatever it is that you think that you've done. Okay. You are overworking. It's another form of self punishment. It's because you're driven by guilt, you're driven by shame. And so you don't feel that you've earned a rest. You don't feel like you've earned success yet. And so you're working and working and working and working and working and working, but you're still not quite getting anywhere, because you're probably working at things that are not going to get you anywhere. But you don't realize that it is because there's a part of you that thinks you do not deserve to win, because you haven't forgiven yourself. There's such little subtleties in the way that you are behaving that show that there's unforgiveness issues within you. And when it comes to unforgiveness with other people, what tends to happen is that you all the action you're taking to build your life becomes about proving to the other person that hurt you that you are proving them wrong. You want to prove them wrong. You want to prove that they were wrong to treat you in this way. But that goal is very different from living in your purpose and making six figures whilst living in your purpose. So the actions you will take to prove them wrong may look similar to what you will do to build a business or build a life that makes at least six figures whilst living in your purpose, but you will never quite get the result because you are busy trying unconsciously to prove those people wrong. Can you see that your goals kind of change? And so the actions and the energy and everything behind what you're doing will not get you to where you say you want to go, because unconsciously you are actually going somewhere else. You are unconsciously trying to achieve a very different goal from what you are saying you want to achieve. This is why unforgiveness, it's critical that you release it from you. It is critical that you release it from you. Some of y'all are underpricing your stuff because, again, you feel guilty about charging it for anything, or you're charging what your service is worth. You are guilty because you don't feel deserving of more because you haven't forgiven yourself for mistakes made. You haven't forgiven yourself for whatever it is that you think you need to forgive yourself for. And so you're feeling guilty. You're feeling ashamed. You don't allow yourself to prosper. So you're trying to build this business. You're trying to, but your pricing is so low. And there's nothing wrong. In some ways, there's nothing wrong with low pricing or high pricing, whatever. It's just, what is the energy behind what you're doing? How are you showing up in the marketplace? What is the energy behind what you're doing? Because if the energy behind what you're doing is to pay the price, it is not going to get you to making six figures whilst living in my purpose, because that's a completely different goal and you're not aiming for it. Okay, you're not aiming for it. What you're aiming for unconsciously is to assuage this sense of guilt, this sense of shame, or the blame that you're trying to prove yourself to whoever it is that did something, and then you're trying to prove to them that they were wrong, and you're angry. Also, you don't realize it, but your goals are very different from what you are saying your goals are. Then there's people pleasing, and you don't realize you're doing it, but you're overcommitting because you keep saying yes to everybody, but you're saying yes out of guilt. And so you don't have time to build your vision. And so you're telling yourself, I just don't have the time. When I get more time, then I'll do this. But actually, the reason why you don't have time is because you're busy assuaging guilt instead of building your vision. And you start to see how very subtle this unforgiveness can be when it keeps you, and it'll be keeping you from your goals, because the goal you are working towards is not the goal you say you want. You're comparing yourself to other people. If there's this unresolved resentment, you are constantly comparing yourself to other people, or particularly the people that you are trying to prove your worth to. And of course, comparison never actually goes anywhere good. Okay, it never goes anywhere good. You'll just see them succeeding and you be paralyzed instead of inspired. And all because you are holding on to what you think is strengthening you. Because sometimes we hold on to hurt, and because we think by letting it go, where again you're letting them off the hook. You're not. You're letting yourself off the hook. It is for your benefit that you are forgiven. It is for your benefit. It is for your prosperity that you are forgiven. Because holding on to resentment, holding on to unforgiveness of self, it blocks you up. There's a lot of energy that goes into holding on to anger. There's a lot of energy that goes into holding on to shame. And all of that energy is no longer available for you to build your business or build your life or be creative, because all of that energy is just caught up in, I'm holding on to guilt, I'm holding on to my shame, I'm holding on to my anger and my resentment against that person and this grudge. And again, I understand that sometimes what people have done is horrible, absolutely horrible. I've had to work with lots of clients through some really painful situations. But the freedom it brings you, not only shows up in a deep sense of lightness within you, but it starts showing up in your physical reality, that you're able to make more money. You're able to see opportunities that you couldn't see before because you were so emotionally caught up, your energy so tied up in holding on to this stuff that is keeping you from your own good. Come on. It's time for you to dare to let go. We can have a session together and we start to work on this stuff. You can come into my memberships and we'll start to work on this stuff, because it's time for you to set yourself free, my loves. It's time for you to set yourself free. And for some of you, you're holding on to this unforgiveness, but you also know that as a spiritual, religious person, you're not supposed to do this. And so you feel guilty about the fact that you're angry. And so then you're compounding all the emotions, making the whole thing even worse. And then you get yourself into even more of a mess. So there you are, taking all the practical action, working your socks off. But because the energy behind it and the goal you're focused on is not the goal you think you're focused on, you don't get where you want to go. Honeys, it's time to set yourself free. It's time to set yourself free. Start journaling. Journal out the hurt, the pain, write it all out. Sometimes I've written letters to people that have hurt me. I never send it to anybody. I must admit, I've never sent anybody a letter telling them just how much they've hurt me. No, I write it out, get it all out of my system. I burn the thing as a whole sign to myself that I'm done with this. Sometimes I use my imagination. I sit with the divine, connect with the divine, sit with the divine, call in the energy or the essence of this person and have a conversation with this person where we hash it all out. And I release, let it go. And sometimes it's just by affirming over and over again. I choose, I forgive. There's a particular affirmation I usually use. Do I remember what it is right now? Ultimately, an affirmation of forgiveness. I forgive, blah, 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 for everything. I set them free. I let them go. And I very consciously, almost like, go into my heart and take that energy and throw it away, get rid of it. And I might have to do this a million times until it becomes more real. Because when something is really fresh inside of you and you're really angry and you're going over conversations that you should have said and what they should have said and what they did and what they didn't do, particularly when it's that fresh, yeah, I have to, when I catch myself, oh, I'm doing it again, I go back into my heart, get that energy, throw it away, release it. Your love, and I'm speaking to the divine, your love flows freely through me right now, resolving, dissolving, evolving. Get rid of it. Like I see it being dissolved in the love of the divine. But you may have to do that over and over and over and over again. These things that I've mentioned, it's not once and done. It's not once and done, okay? When you're really hurting on something, it will take some time, but you can let go. The problem with anything is that it becomes a habit. So when you form the habit of really being angry with this person and going over the conversations and going over their behaviors and blah, 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 it becomes a habit. But you can also choose a habit of, as soon as you notice, okay, what can I do to get rid of this? I choose freedom for me. I choose to set myself free. And then you start forgiving yourself, forgiving them. It's a choice. It's a choice. It's a choice that you make over and over and over again until one day you realize, oh, I'm thinking about this person, I'm talking about this person, and it doesn't actually bug me anymore. And then you're free. But it takes some time. And sometimes, yeah, it's like I said at the beginning of this, I sat down with a coach for a good 8 hours and then a few follow-up sessions after that to really just hash out this stuff that I'd carried for a while. But as I said, within 3 months of doing that session, my income doubled. And I don't actually remember doing anything different. But that's the crazy thing. As I said, when you are focused on trying to prove them wrong or trying to punish yourself, you don't realize that the actions you're taking are helping you fulfill that goal of proving them wrong or punishing yourself. Whereas when you set yourself free, the actions you unconsciously start to take are actually directed in the direction of the goal you want, which is to thrive, to prosper, to live a free, fulfilled, financially abundant, love-drenched life. You have to set yourself free from going off on some random tangent that you don't even realize you're on because you're holding on to these crazy emotions that are clouding your judgment and keeping you in self-punishing patterns. It is for our freedom that we do this. Lean into the divine, because sometimes the divine can't even get your attention because you don't realize just how much of you is tied up in this nonsense. So maybe you're here today right now because you have been asking for help, and this is it. This is it. If this resonates with you, then maybe we need to have a session, you and I. Go to the link in my bio if you're on Instagram, the remove the block session. 90 minutes, you and I really clearing the noise, the nonsense, sitting with the divine, clearing this stuff and getting a strategic next step plan to achieve your goals. If you're anywhere else, the link is around this video or the audio or whatever you're listening to. It's time to set yourself free. It's time to set yourself free. It's never just about the practical stuff you need to do. Yes, that needs to be done, no doubt about it. And you do need strategy in order to achieve your goals. However, you also need to make sure that there's nothing blocking you up, blocking the channel of manifesting what you desire, because if not, you'll be working your ass off and still not getting anywhere. For some of y'all, how frustrating is that? How frustrating is it You when I speak to people, one of the things when I ask them, so what do you think is getting in the way of you achieving your goals? It's like, oh, it's myself, or the people that are, self-responsible. Um, which is great that they see this, but most people don't actually really understand what that looks like in practice. Do you? So yes, you probably know that you're sabotaging yourself, but do you actually know how? Sometimes you just need support to support you in seeing what you're doing, so you stop doing and clearing these blocks so that you stop acting based on your blocks, for goodness sake. You deserve to thrive, to prosper, to make at least six figures whilst living in your purpose. Some of y'all are making six figures in a horrible way. You don't want that anymore. It's time for you to allow yourself to make money doing what you actually want to do with your life. You deserve to prosper, really, in all areas. Will you allow yourself? Will you set yourself free? I can help you do that. You can get a copy of my book, or you can come and have a one-on-one session with me, a one-off session. Let's get this stuff sorted. Look in my bio, look around this video, links telling you exactly where to do it all. Let's do this thing. We're going to finish with our affirmation, which I forgot to sing at the beginning, but that's fine. I am confident, self-assured, and rich. Everything that I desire is within my reach. I am confident, self-assured, and rich. I am confident, self-assured, and rich. Everything that I desire is within my reach. I am confident, self-assured, and rich. That's affirmation, which is a very short one there. I am confident, self-assured, rich. Everything that I desire is within my reach. I want you to affirm that to yourself. Everything that you desire is within your reach. We just need to set you free to claim it all. Are you ready to? Okay. You know what to do next. Go look at the links, join in, get the book, or let's have a conversation, you and I. 90 minutes, let's clear this stuff. Until the next time, my loves, go forth and prosper. If you deserve it, please set yourself free. Forgive yourself for whatever it is that you think you've done. Forgive others, not because you're condoning what they did, but because you want to be free. Okay? Until the next time, my loves. Much amazing love. Go forth and prosper. Bye.